Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Just thought I'd return to you for this video format video, this time on my laptop, for Northlane's Node Reloaded review. This is like the 10th anniversary of the Node album being out since 2015, so they're celebrating 10 years of it being out by releasing a re-release of this with a different style of a version of this album. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 2025 version of Node Reloaded and let you know my thoughts on the 11 songs overall. So let's dive into this review tonight. So I guess you could call it an album in a way, but it's an anniversary album review. Overall, Soma EXE. So there are different uh, song titles with it. Instead of Soma, it's just Soma EXE. And it's a very good song with Marcus Bridges' singing potential in this track, and his screaming moments are the highlight in this track. So I really enjoyed Soma EXE. I'm slurring with my wording tonight. Sorry about that. So 5 out of 5 for Soma EXE. Obelisk EXE is another one that I really enjoyed. And definitely has good breakdowns, good drumming, good guitar work, good screaming vocals from Marcus Bridge, and it does well for the execution. So another great song, 5 out of 5. Node EXE, the title track, is another good one that I personally enjoyed. I really dig Marcus Bridges' singing moments. His clean vocal moments are very strong in this track, and the drumming and production of this track did very well. So did the guitar work too. So I was really impressed with this. He did have a few scream moments through this track, but for the 4 minutes and 42 seconds, it's an enjoyable song. So I like the self-title track, or the title track, I should say, 5 out of 5. EXE is another one I really dig. I really enjoyed majority of these tracks on this record for the reloaded version. This new version actually sounds much fresher than the original, but it still works for how it is. Even the original is still a classic. Node is. But overall, it's a 5 out of 5 for EXE. Very strong track, and it works for the execution. Nameless EXE was pretty good of a song. I'd give it a 5 out of 5 too. It's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so you're not in for a very long track. Going into the next song, Rot, which actually works for the execution. So Marcus Bridge doesn't come in the song till like close to a minute and 20 seconds of the track, but it overall executes flawlessly with his vocals. So 5 out of 5. So the next track is Rot, which was a single they dropped. They dropped 2 singles for this EXE release of Node Reloaded before this release came out. Overall, I think Rot EXE is still a classic track. The original track is fantastic as shit, and it definitely rocks for sure. I like Marcus Bridge's screaming potential in this track, and overall, this track flowed very well with the execution. So definitely great chunky breakdowns. I'm much enjoying for the metalcore, electronic core stuff that they do, and it worked. So 5 out of 5. Leech EXE is another one I personally enjoyed. It's getting a 5 out of 5 too. I like how Marcus Bridge is singing this track too and screaming it as well. And the drum work and guitar work is pretty excellent in this track for the newer version. So 5 out of 5 goes to this track. Impulse EXE, I like the intro part of the song, but it overall worked for the execution. Made it a very strong track with the drumming and guitar work, so very impressed with this song. It's a 5 out of 5. Weightless EXE is a pretty solid track. It's not like one of my favorites, but it is pretty good in its own way. It does well for Marcus Bridges' clean vocals, And overall, I'd give it a 4.75 out of 5 for this one. Still pretty strong in its own way, but I have a few critiques with this track, with how it sounds from time to time. It's very mellow-paced, this track, but it does work in its own way. Raw EXE is another one that was a single included with the Rot single when it came out, I think a few weeks ago. It was kind of in October when it came out, but overall, it did very well for the 4 minutes and 27-second runtime, and I really enjoyed this track. It's a definite 5 out of 5. I like the screaming moments, I like the clean moments from Marcus Bridge. Both combined did very well, and the electronics and drum work and guitar work did very well for the metalcore style they go for, and electronic core style they go for too. So 5 out of 5. And finally, Animate EXE ends it off perfectly. It's a great way to end this record off. It has great scream moments from Marcus Bridge, and overall, the singing moments with his clean moments do very well too. And the execution of this track, I was really impressed with this one. For almost 5.5 minutes, you're in for quite a great closing track. So 5 out of 5 goes to Animate EXE. Overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think Northlane Node Reloaded, the reloaded version for the 2025 version of the Node album that came out in 2015, is a very good record. It is definitely a highlight and something to remember, because this was their third studio album in their discography, and they remastered it for the 2025 version, but the 2025 version is pretty good. So is the original. The original is still one of my favorites. And overall, Northlane pulled it off with this one, so I was really impressed that they dropped a re-release of a 10th anniversary edition of this album. And if I were to give Node Reloaded by Northlane a score, I'm giving it a very strong 9.5 out of 10. Very strong release. Highly recommend you check this release out for this Friday, November 7th. They're dropping it tonight sometime, but it overall worked for the execution. So, and Marcus Bridges' singing and screaming moments were the highlights on this track, on this record, I should say, to recorrect myself. But overall, 9.5 out of 10 for Northlane Node Reloaded. I hope you enjoyed this 2025 10th anniversary edition album review tonight, or this review tonight for it, and thank you guys so much for watching.